So guys, now we're on another overpass. This is the overpass at Peters Hall, right? Similar design. What you see above me as it appears to be a roof is actually solar panels. So they're long, there's a long chain of solar panels on the roof. That's what you can see above me. And this is the overpass behind this wall. Apparently this is the big sign advertising I think the PPP. And behind me, that's the East Bank Public Road looking south towards the bridge, the new Demerara River Bridge. And on the other side behind me, that's the East Bank Public Road looking north. It's starting to rain, which is one of the reasons why I came up onto this overpass, so that I can take a little shelter from the rain underneath these solar panels. But let me turn the camera around and show you what's happening to the bridge from this location. This is what the bridge looks like from this location. Get closer, closer. Yeah, this is what the bridge. Now the reason why it looks misty is because it's raining, but this is what the bridge looks like, and that's the gap. Right, that's the gap between the high span section and the ramp at this point. Again, it's cloudy, so it's raining, so that's why it looks a little cloudy through this. And that is the ramp. The ramp is about half a mile long, one of the longest ramps of any bridge, I believe. But that is what the ramp looks like from the overpass here at Peters Hall. Right, that's what the ramp looks like from the overpass. And of course, that is the part of the bridge that passes over the East Bank Public Road. The first genuine overpass here in Guyana. But that's where we are, guys. This is where we are. We're gonna get a little closer. We're gonna go under the bridge. But for now, this is what it looks like from the pedestrian overpass here at Peters Hall. Of course, the other end of this overpass, you should be able to see the old Demerara Bridge. So that's the old Demerara Bridge. The traffic lined up across over the old Demerara Bridge. Right, that's the old Demerara Bridge traffic. And I think you can see a little more of the new bridge. Right, that's what you can see of the new bridge from this location. But it's raining, and we're going to continue as we get closer when it rains. Okay guys, it stopped raining and we can get closer to the bridge. So we're walking from the overpass. Right, that's the overpass we were standing on at Peters Hall. That's the Peters Hall intersection. That's the landmark building at that junction. This is the temple, the Hindu temple at Peters Hall. And that's the masjid, the mosque. And this is Republic Park. Still haven't looked at Republic Park. We're gonna get there. But yeah, this is the bridge. This is what the bridge looks like on the 12th day of July 2025. And that's the longest ramp of any bridge in the Caribbean, or maybe even South America. Straight ahead. These are my regular fruit vendors here on East Bank Public Road. I think Bishop Edgehill wants to remove these guys from selling along the streets. I don't know if they're gonna get these guys to move because it's their livelihood. But yeah, morning. This is what the bridge looks like as we go past it on a Saturday morning. Morning! As we go past it on a Saturday morning. Now that is the gap. It's now narrow, so narrow that there's only one pair of pillars between the high span section. I think now you should be able to see the cables. All right, those are the cables attaching the high span section to the pillars of the bridge. It's always quite impressive. It's transformed this neck of the woods. Somebody was suggesting when we went through those neighborhoods, that is the Peters Hall neighborhood, the last time we were here 2 weeks ago, that those buildings, those residential neighborhoods should be replaced by high-rise condominiums and hotels along the riverbank. And I kind of agree, actually. I think that is prime waterfront property, and it's probably going to happen in future that some developer will come and offer those people high price for their property and then use it to build high-rise condos and hotels along the riverbank because it's waterfront property. But this is what it looks like here on the Saturday morning. What has come up in the discussion over the last week is the safety of these barriers at the edge of the bridge, because if a vehicle goes over the side of this bridge, we've seen ridiculous accidents in the last couple of weeks or so, but if a vehicle goes over the side of the bridge, it will land on some of the homes underneath the bridge, down below the bridge, right? Because speeding is a problem, accidents are a problem, and at this rate, we can literally expect that some reckless driver will go over the side of this bridge and end up in the river or landing on somebody's house, because such is the recklessness in Guyana. But this is what the bridge looks like here on Saturday morning. You can see it feels as if it's been here for decades, a permanent structure. But that's looking east, right? East along the bridge. As we go under the bridge, that's looking west. You can see the curve of the bridge. You can see the high span section almost connected to the ramp. Right, the high span section almost connected to the ramp. And you can see underneath the bridge, right underneath the bridge, as you cross into Providence. That's a Ramada Inn, and of course Oh, the Ramada Hotel. That's looking east under the bridge. Like I said, the bridge feels like a permanent structure. Here you can see the water falling down from the bridge. And that's looking north towards Georgetown, looking under the bridge. And this is looking west. You can see the curve, the bridge is curving away from us now as we enter Providence. All right, we're entering the village of Providence. And the bridge is almost complete. It looks a lot more like this poster. All right, it looks like the poster, like the bridge in the poster. But yes, guys, this is where we are on the 12th of July, the middle of July. So it's like 6 weeks towards, a little more than 6 weeks to September 1st, which is the election day in Guyana. And of course, this is one of the government's political projects that they've staked their re-election campaign on, the completion of this bridge before election day. I still don't think it's going to be happening, but you tell me, guys, what you think. Do you think this bridge will be completed before election day? We looked at the ramps. Probably going to look at the other end, the east end of the ramp and the approach road tomorrow. But for now, this is what the bridge looks like here at Peters Hall, here at Providence. This is the Ramada Georgetown Princess, the Princess Casino, Ramada Hotel and Princess Casino, here in Providence. All right, that's the Ramada Hotel and Princess Casino. I keep putting off doing a review of Ramada and Princess, but here is the version or the view of the bridge from Ramada and Princess. As you can see, there's still a small gap that has to be filled. My guess is the next time we return, 2 weeks from now, that gap will be completed. So by the end of July, next time we come back, we're probably going to look and see if this gap is filled. It's been taking about a week to fill each span, but this hookup of the ramp to the bridge, to the high span section of the bridge, is progressing very carefully, very deliberately, and very slowly, and will probably take longer than any of the other sections of construction. That's interesting. This blue and black and blue and white flag is another political party in Guyana. That political party is the new Wind Party. Kind of interesting what's happening. This one that looks like a German flag, that is the political party of the current government, the PVP. So the Wind political party, which is led by the Mohammeds. The Mohammeds used to be close supporters of the PPP. Now they've broken away and formed their own political party. So interesting times in Guyana. We'll talk about that in another video. But for now, this is what the bridge looks like. Right? This is what the new Demerara River Bridge looks like on Saturday morning. You can see the cables have been established. You can see both pillars, both pairs of pillars on the in the high span section in this view. And you can see the gap. That's the gap between the two high span sections. It's narrow and has to be filled. This is the gap between the high span section and the ramp. That also is narrow and has to be filled. And so my guess is that by the time we come back here in 2 weeks, they will have completed the connecting the two bridges. But this is what's happening here in Guyana. It's election season, this is silly season, a lot of political shenanigans. I have deliberately not commented on it because, like I said, this is not a political channel. But I think it's important for me to give you my assessment of the politics in Guyana because it impacts all the infrastructure that's being built and the future development of the country. So I'm going to give you a review of the politics in another video from my studio. But for now, this is what it looks like, guys, on Saturday morning here in Georgetown, Guyana. The new Demerara River Bridge, seen from Providence. That's the high span section. And this is the ramp. So guys, that's what's up. If you want to see more content like this, click like and subscribe. Share this video with friends and family around the world. Let people know what's happening in the fastest growing economy in the world, Guyana. And straight ahead, that is the Amazonia Mall. Behind it is the new Hyatt Hotel. We'll see if we can take a look at those before we leave this neck of the woods. Later! You can see them building, what is it, a wider sidewalk here. Seems as if they're going to be widening the sidewalk next to this property. And we're going to take a look at that in future. Share this video with friends and family around the world. Let people know what's happening in the fastest growing economy in the world, Guyana. Later!